This engine's probably been out of the truck for 12 years. I'm gonna see if I can fire it up here. With a bunch of scrap stuff that I'm hoping will work. So got this old, save that for later. I got this old 750 Edelbrock carburetor, some fuel line, scraps of wires so that we can cobble together an ignition, old battery cables. I really saved way too much stuff. Some carburetor adapters to adapt this. They might be too big for the stock intake. I don't know. We'll see. As far as the carburetor anyway. I'd really like to just run the HEI. It's one wire hookup. But all of these wires, I've got a bunch of different wires. We'll see if I have enough to make that work. I do have this super old school, racy looking Excel distributor with the old small cap on it. It is a little different than stuff I've used in the past. We'll see. Got a full HEI distributor. All the guts in that thing are brand new, and a cap for that. I do have the mechanical fuel pump on this, but this thing sat for 12 years in really dry weather, so probably won't work, but got a crappy old electric, just that it'll idle and get a couple revs out of. Have a cheapy HF gauge cluster or gauge pack, but really just curious about the oil pressure on this. The gauge never worked in the truck, so we'll see. Speaking of oil, I'm not going to change it. That oil's been in there for 10 years. It's good enough to run for 5 more minutes. So I need to go pull a battery out of a vehicle so that I've got something to use here, but this is the Small Block Chevy in all its glory. We're just gonna make some noise for the neighbors. We'll be back in a minute and start getting things squared away and see if we can get this thing to crank at least. Okay, I went out and got my battery. So I think that's what we're going to do first, and then see if it'll crank. Shouldn't be a big deal to get this thing to crank, so start hooking these up. First thing we're gonna do, give me a kind of a clean spot for the ground. Set this up here out of the way. All right. Oh, that right. Is there nothing? Yeah, we'll just jam it on. It'll self-clearance. And yes, I am using impact sockets on an impact gun, because that's what heroes do. Bam! Oh, not yet. All right, we have a negative. We'll run this around over here and see if we can get a positive. Being a little grumpy with me. There we go. Forgot to get a 9/16. I meant 5/8. Well, what's going on? I'll just edit that out. So this is the first time that I've gotten the socket. There we go. And there we go. We have battery cables. Now, you will notice, if you're paying attention, that these are not the correct post, but I have vice grips, so they are the right post. So you find a new use for these things every day. Bam. That's one. Gotta open that one up a little bit. Okay, now probably gonna jump a little bit. Not gonna lie, because it's the first time I've done this in a while. But let's see what happens. Nothing. It sure helps if you are gonna jump start one of these to jump start the correct terminal. 1, 2, 3. So that's promising. So we got good crank on this thing. One problem that I am having or going to have is I don't really have a gasket. So I'm going to do the next best thing. Duct tape. And I will say, tech tip if you're doing this, don't use the dollar store stuff, which this is, because it's not very sticky. And it makes it kind of hard, but it'll stay. I mean, we're just talking, we just need this thing to run a little. Not like we're going land speed racing or drifting or even driving. You know what? Let's just reposition here just a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to clean it off, but maybe I should have. Now that's called shoot. See, that's why the thicker, not dollar store duct tape is a much better value, because you just go through this stuff so fast. All right, now I'm just gonna smooth this on so I can kind of see where these holes are, and now I'm going to cut them out. And again, this motor is just test fire purposes, and maybe someday it'll get rebuilt, I don't know. So if stuff gets sucked in there, you know, no big deal. I don't even know if you call this the right thing the wrong way, or the wrong thing the wrong way, or whatever. So, gasket. It may not even work with this, but we'll see. Set these on here. I'm not even gonna, we'll just give her a slight torque, you know. That's close. So, if in a pinch you don't have a bolt, I'm not saying this is what you should do, but it's what you can do. Depending on what your intake manifold carburetor, or what your carburetor stud size is, that can double for a carburetor bolt. Not the right way, not the wrong way, definitely the wrong way. Oh man, I've stole too many parts out of this thing. I'm gonna have some massive vacuum leaks. Again, I don't know if I care that much, just because it's just got to start and rev. That's all we're doing. All right, carburetor is tight. Functional? I don't know. I do have many leaks that, ooh man, those are like way out. I don't even remember what carburetor this was on before. So bottom them out just ever so slightly, back them off. All right, so one thing I've got to do is find top dead center on the distributor. So I got to get it pointed at number 1, and that'll give me spark, and then it's just fuel. Oh man, things just went south real quick. So normally people have these just laying around. I do not. I just got rid of everything. I just cleaned out my garage. So I pulled out my number 1 spark plug. out of the number 1 hole so I can find top dead center, and broke the spark plug. So I'm gonna have to go buy 1 spark plug so that I can do this. So I already stole the battery out of this truck, so why not steal the first spark plug? Easy. That's what we're after right there. All right, not a great spark plug, but it's all there. That's the important thing. I have a spark plug. So before I throw this in though, I'm gonna find top dead center. So the way I sometimes do it is 3/8. Just shove it in that spark plug hole. Oh, that might already be there actually. Yeah, just take her around till it comes to a stop. Nice and easy. Shoot, that chamber might be small, so that's not gonna work. But no, our trusty starter wire, we'll just shove that in there. Now there's a number of ways to find top dead center, and if you're looking for that, oh, there it is. I'll just show you. That's why I like using the breaker bar. You can go back and forth, but see, it's wobbly, and then not wobbly. So that's pretty close to top dead center, which actually is telling me also that my timing line is actually kind of accurate on this thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and line that up with number 1 right there. Shoot, that's it. Cap is already labeled for Chevy, so which is that's really good because that's what this is. Typically the caps go on like this and number 1's over here, so I'm gonna line up. So that is a little off, and I'm gonna jump it over here just a little bit more. There we go. So what I was doing was seating the oil pump drive. I'll throw this on, tighten her up, and we are just about ready. Alright, so got the vacuum plugs on there. I'm not really sure why. Just seemed like the right thing to do. So now fit the spark plugs, or the spark plug wires, and then get some fuel in it and see what happens. No idea I had that. don't throw stuff away, just in case you need to make some random YouTube video or starting something in your garage. Let's get some fuel. I don't know if this is the same way as the other ones, but it usually fixes all the other carburetors, so we'll just tap on it. Seemed like it was leaking past a little bit. All right, now we'll make us an ignition wire and fire it up. So this is, I guess, why you never throw stuff away. I mean, I'm able to make all this. So that's why I wanted the HEI on this though, because all you got to do is run it over the exhaust manifold. That's key. You always want your electrical to run over the exhaust manifold as close as possible. Bam! Ignition. Okay, we are ready. We got fuel, we got electricity. I mean, I don't know what we're waiting for. I am going to check and make sure that all the oil pump stuff is blocked off, because I don't need oil shooting everywhere. And it's not. That would have shot right all over everywhere. But that's what this is for. So, let's get this quickly installed. And it comes with everything you need. And a bunch of stuff maybe you don't. Ooh. It is shiny. This is the capillary tube for the oil pressure. Just, it may not even have oil pressure, let's be honest. So, let's see. There's somewhere I can, oh yeah. We can zip tie this somewhere, I'm sure. Not my favorite stuff I've used before, I'm not gonna lie. That might stay, I don't know. And then we got this weird looking thing. I don't know. I'm not even gonna Teflon that. It's probably gonna leak. I don't care. All right, so here is what we have ended up with. We have a fuel system. Don't need really clamps on the draw side, so that's why there's not any. But this thing doesn't really need a regulator either. And it did already put fuel in there, maybe. Oh yeah, we got some squirtage. Okay, that probably just flooded it. Now it's not going to start. Got my oil pressure guy hooked up. We will see how that does. That capillary tube really sucks. We do have a full set of wires. I got my ignition run. That's this wire right here, and it runs over. And I did have a switch that was dead on arrival, and so I was just gonna hot wire it, but the ignition felt bad. So this is when your ghost strap needs to double as a switch panel. So we got fuel pump, which will switch on. I don't have it connected, obviously. We've got both of these wires here that need to run over, and I've got another set of vice grips somewhere to connect the power. So let's light the fire, Big Daddy. See what happens. All right, we're connecting power and we're gonna crank it, see what happens. All right, everything is ready. Power's connected. That's the fuel pump. HEI, we've got my hot wire stick. All right, time has come. Let's see what happens. Slight malfunction, multi-polarity switch. Now we're going the right way. So we'll see. Maybe. Oh no! That's a good sign though. That means we have spark. Let's see. I think we're 180 out, so I'm gonna have to flip the distributor around real quick. We'll be back. That's just the starter about to fall off. Don't worry about that. Whoa!
Woo! That was awesome.
Hang on.
Uh-oh.
That's fine. It's just because there's some gas in there. Okay, are you recording?
Yep.
All right, let's try that again. Yeah?
That was crazy.
And that is how you make yourself stink, but also start an engine in your garage. So we saw it run, it started up, ran great, but I want more fire. So we're gonna see if we can get it to shoot some more fire out. Before though, all right, we need to make sure that we're safe, right? All right, fire extinguisher. Okay, let's load it up with some fuel. This car leaks. That thing probably puts way too much pressure out. So actually, if you let it sit here and kind of pump fuel into it, you get decent flames. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, power on, custom switch panel. Here we go. That's how it's done. Thanks. Come back next time. We're gonna do some more shenanigans and see what kind of trouble we can get into.